Well, hey everyone, it's Natasha with Britches Get Stitches. Thanks for coming and joining me. Those of you that are new, this is my cross stitch and sewing channel. I'm sure if you found me, you're here for cross stitch. And those of you returning, hi, I'm back. It's been a while. Things have been a little crazy. So if you watched my previous Flosstube, you notice that I took a break a lot for coughing. I might still do a little bit today. I'm going on week 5 of a lingering cough. And during my last Flosstube, I had actually had a doctor's appointment set up for either the next day or later that week. I don't remember what day of the week I filmed then. But I went in and had her, just check up and see what's going on. And it turns out I had a lung infection, and it was giving me an acute cough and acute asthma. So she put me on steroids, an antibiotic, and an inhaler. And I've never been on an inhaler in my life, so it was a little weird. So turns out I was actually sick and not just coughing like crazy. I didn't just have what my daughter brought home from preschool, So of course that was the same time that I started the new job, which is going great, by the way. I love it. I'm so much less stressed. I feel great. I love what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. It's not really, when I had my previous job, it was a lot of like imposter syndrome. Like, am I really supposed to be here? And this, it fits. It really works. It's what I want to do. So I'm enjoying it a lot. And they actually flew me out to California to attend an environmental health and safety conference at the main plant out there. And I was there for 3 days. So I flew out on Monday, and the conference was on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then I flew back in yesterday, and I was exhausted. I got home at 2:30, and it was all I could do to stay awake long enough to go pick up Lucy from preschool, come back and make her dinner, and then I was out on the couch. Crazy. And I think I slept a full 9.5 hours once I actually got to bed, and that was after my hour of sleeping on the couch. So I was tired. I still am a little bit. You can see these bags here. So yeah, that was kind of a big deal. I mean, over the past 3 or 4 weeks, like I've still been stitching. I have a pile of stuff to show you. A pile of stuff to show you. And that's a lot thanks to the fandom stitching group that I'm in, the Hobbits. Go Hobbits! Thanks for keeping me on track with my stitching. We've got weekly prompts, we've got monthly prompts, then there's special event prompts. It's just a way to kind of continually move through your whip pile. It's similar to what Margie May does with her Pick a Whip. So we get like 5 new prompts a week, and they're very vague. So one was stitch on something that symbolizes the path of death. So I stitched on something with mushrooms, because mushrooms are, fungi. And then another was stitch on something, or stitch on with yellow floss, or with orange floss or fabric, or something like that. Like, so the reason we're called the Hobbits is that this year's theme is the Lord of Rings. Next year's theme has come out, Disney. So super excited about that. We don't know what teams we're on for next year, who our leaders are going to be or any of that, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you've ever wanted to join the group, now's the time to do it. All of my sickness and travel and work and all of that stuff means I am extremely far behind on Flosstube, attempting to catch up, but who knows. And then the other thing that happened is October 6th is my husband and my 10-year date anniversary. And so we had our first date October 6th, 2013. And we went to a cafe called Sitwell's, which is my favorite coffee shop. I used to spend hours there during grad school working on my thesis and other classes and preparing teaching plans and such. And so we met there and we had a 3-hour-long date, our first date. And so for our tenure, it was also a Friday, we went back and they've changed management and done a little bit of remodeling, but the booth and the table that we sat at when we had our first date was still there. So we had our first and our 10th, 10-year, not 10th. We have more than 10 dates in 10 years. The 10-year anniversary of that first date. We had coffee and breakfast and talked and hung out in the same booth at the same restaurant, and it was just really cool. We spent the whole day together. We both took the day off work and went and did a bunch of things. So, but that was kind of that was really cool. It was the highlight of it, you know? And then ended up ending the night with Chinese food and Battlestar Galactica marathon. So we're weird. We love it. I guess that was a lot of life updates. I apologize. Those of you that didn't want to watch it, I hope you fast forwarded past. But I can go ahead and get into some stitching. So this is Flosstube 14. Crazy. What is today? Today, don't know because my watch is dead. It's October 13th, I think. Whoa, is it Friday the 13th? Oh my gosh. Oh, it's gonna be a day, y'all. Okay, so I do have a finish. I don't have any FFOs, but I do have a finish. And I guess I can take out this extra little, well, I'll just fold it over so you can't see it. I'm gonna turn this into a pillow, I think. Books and coffee. So the original had books and coffee in the same dark brown that the mug was in, and I switched it up, and of course I went purple. So there's like a deep, I want to say like eggplanty purple. I don't know. There's so many people use different colors to describe, or different words to describe different colors. You could call it a Merlot purple or a grape purple or eggplant, whatever, but it's like just a deeper purple, which is perfect for me. So I'm gonna turn that one into a pillow. I need to find like a good coffee fabric background to do the backing, or maybe I'll just do a flat fold and stick it on the wall next to the coffee machine right there. That might work. So yeah, there's my finish. I was glad to have at least one to show you guys. All right, check that off. I will attempt to cut out my coughs, but if I don't, I apologize. So I did work on quite a bit in the past 3 weeks. And the first one is the Frosted Pumpkin Cottage by Witchy Stitcher. And there's another woman, Erica, who started her Flosstube as well. I will put her down here because at the moment I forgot to write down the name of her Flosstube and I don't want to get it wrong. And she's a lot farther than me. She started after me and she's blowing past me in it. But this is where I was last time you all saw it. So I haven't made a lot of progress and I'm still in the process of frogging because I attempted to work on this one when I was at the hotel and I didn't have the actual pattern with me, and so I was kind of looking off of my phone and using like a secondhand pattern keeper, and so I need to frog the rest of this. I had come all the way down and then looked at it and was like, wait, this is only supposed to be like a stitch or two away from here, and so I had to frog this entire pillar because it needs to move over. This is supposed to be on top of the ladder-like black, so I'm just gonna frog and redo it and attempt not to pull out the linen when I do because I was getting a little rough on it. Whoops. Okay, next one that I worked on, I'm gonna take one side out of the Q-snap so you can see it, is the Greenhouse of Oddities, LolaCrow, and I fully finished that frame. So this is where I was last time you saw it. No, I did not fully finish the frame. I finished all of the black. I'm still working on the brown and the white and the gray. So like I've completed all the way over here. Everything here is done. So I've got to finish some brown and black and then white and gray in here, but it's looking good. I went ahead and got a frame for it. I was at the thrift store and I'd never been to this thrift store before, and so I was looking around and trying to find just where's some random frames I can do or things I can use for finishing, and I found the perfect frame for this. So when I get there, it's gonna be a quick FFO because I've already got the frame for it. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Okay, the next one I worked on was the Wizard of Oz. And that one is a Head, a Heaven and Earth design. And my plan today, this is where I was last time I saw it. My plan today is to try to sew a grime guard for this, because this is having to deal with all of this fabric is really getting to me. But this one has kind of been my focus piece for October. And so that is where I'm at. And I've gone down the rabbit hole because now I love full coverage. I love it. This is so much fun. Seeing a picture appear, this feels like a paint the number, or like the diamond painting stuff that people do. Like this, I don't know, I really like it. It's like you're painting a portrait, I guess. But yeah, it's turning out well. Okay. Next up, I worked on summer salt boxes, and I know I should be starting the autumn one, but I haven't. I should. So I still haven't decided which of these two I'm gonna do. So if you'll remember, I'm doing one a season, and then next year I'll do the other ones. At this point though, I'm probably just gonna put it down and work on an autumn one, because I decided this time I was gonna go ahead and do the frame first. And I really shouldn't even show it because I haven't made a lot of progress. If you look, this is where it was last time you saw it. I was still doing the frame, and so I went ahead and I almost finished that frame, but it was late at night in the hotel and I was so tired. So I put it away and I didn't do it. But I will finish the frame today and decide which one I'm gonna do, and maybe try to get some of those stitches in it this weekend. I can probably make that fit one of my prompts, and if I can't, then I'll just do penalty stitches for 400 instead of 200 and still get it done. Yeah, because that one needs to happen. On the other hand, the next one, this Joyous season, which is the stitch along with Stitching is Elementary and Mrs. Smith stitches. I hope I said that right. If not, I'll put it down below. The Stitch This Joyous season Sal. Super cute, love it. And also love the act of stitching it, because I have just been annihilating this stitch. It has been so easy to work on when I'm traveling. I don't know why, I want to keep going and going and going. Did I show last time? That's what it was last time you saw it? But I just want to keep stitching it. I don't want to stop. Oh, those shadows are terrible. I should have at least ironed this one, but I literally just put it down. So all those flowers are done except for the middle of this. I started working hardcore on the roof, all those windows. I did have to take out this entire chimney and half of the basket because I stitched it in bark instead of in molasses, and you could tell. I mean, I know they're close browns, but you could tell that it was bark and not molasses. So I took it out because I'm a perfectionist, and I finished that. So I'm gonna keep going on that roof. I think when I hit the roof, then I'm gonna put it down, because there's a lot of other things that I need to make more progress on. So I'm only letting myself finish the roof, and then I have to put it down. Oh, we'll see. We're gonna come back next time and it'll be completely finished. Just watch. I'm just gonna eat my words. Man, oh man. Next one that I did is Treasure Island by Forest Embroidery. And again, there are so many people doing this. I think Pam's doing this with Just Keep Stitching, and Samantha Hugo Stitcher's doing this one. She was actually the first one I saw doing it after I bought it, or downloaded it because it's free. And so this is where I was last time on it. I think they have released 11 parts now, if I remember right. And I'm on like 2. So here's where I am now. Gosh, I love this fabric. I love how the coffee stains are coming out in the piece. It definitely is adding so much to it. And then I got that ship right there. And then I'll move over and do the house on this side. So it's looking good. And I'm doing mine in DMC. I did not get the Owl Forest colors, and I think it looks great. I love how it looks. So I worked on this during our Battlestar Galactica marathon. My husband laughs at me because it's like I can't sit down and relax without a stitch in my hand. And it's true. He's not wrong. The next one I worked on was Amonita Witch, which is by Witch's Garden Crafts. If I'm wrong on those, you know the drill. I'll put it below. This is where I was last time, and this is the one that I'm making for a friend of mine that has to be done in November. I need to kick it into gear. I need to make her more of her, and not the next one, but the mushroom one when you see it. That one also, I need to get those both done. And then I also need to start the volcano one that I designed. Anyway, but here's where I am now. So she has more than just a face. Now she's actually got a head, like a hat. And I started working in on the border as well. So I'm gonna get some of that green going on in there and bring that all around, and yeah. That one's also a really fun stitch. Stitches up really quickly. Then I worked on the Game of Thrones quote that I found. It's a free pattern I found, and then like made my own color design for it. So this is where I was last time. I've been kind of focusing on the words, and then I'll get to the border. And it's a good thing I did, because I've already realized that I need to mess with the border a little bit. Because while I counted and counted and recounted, I still don't have enough at the top and bottom for the swords. So the words are mostly done. I have to do, I think there's this line and then one more line of words, and then the sword. And so I'm making the sword shorter. I'm making this line of words 1 stitch less, and I think that'll fit everything. I don't know. I'm kind of just winging it. As long as I don't get to the point where I have to take out everything, that'd be fab. And that's on the fabric that I dyed myself as well. And then my next one is Autumn Acorns by Bendy Stitchy. Michelle Bendy Stitchy. So it's this one right here, and it's in the October JustCrossStitch magazine. And this is where it was last time you saw it. I had just gotten a start on it, and it is another one that stitches up really quickly because I'm almost done with it. And I think this was in a matter of 2 days, because I couldn't put it down. It's so stinking cute. And I think all I've got left is a little bit on the border, the basket, and the flowers. And that's it. So that's gonna be easy peasy. There's only 2 flowers, acorn tops, but like there's only 3 acorn tops. I've got 2 colors left, and that's it. So because I color completed on that. Okay, this is the mushroom one that I was just talking about. It's called Little Kingdom, also by Witch's Garden Crafts. And this is the other one that is a gift for, so I've got 2 different gifts for people at our LARP. I'm trying to get the thread figured out because it's looking kind of all over the place here. This is where I was last time you all saw it. So a bit of a start, but not a ton. And I definitely put some more work into it because here I am. Now we've got a little second mushroom popping up, and I decided to nix the hoop and just stitch in hand, and I'm glad I did because it just flows a lot faster for me. So I'll need to iron those hoop marks out of it, but I'll do that today because I'm gonna basically go downstairs and spend the entire day at my sewing machine. Yes, I'm excited. So there's my progress on Little Kingdom. Of course, first I'm gonna have to put away all of these pieces. But I mean, maybe I need the bags to do it. We'll get there, we'll get there. The next one that I worked on, remember I mentioned one of our prompts was to stitch with orange thread. I don't have a lot of those, but I do have this one. And this is Grateful Heart by Emma Congdon. Did I say that right? Stitcherovia. And this is where I was last time, so very minimal start. And while I've not like annihilated this pattern, I've done quite a bit on it because I had to get a lot of those orange in. Pardon me. So I've got that banner going in, so start each day with a Grateful Heart is what that's gonna read. Yeah, again, I'm hoping it fits. I'm learning that maybe I need to stop cutting my fabric down and stitch on a whole big piece to make sure it fits. I'm probably gonna go ahead and diagonal stitch the ends of that to make sure it stays. There's a few of them that need it. So while I'm down there, I might as well. Okay, and then the next one that I worked on is Victorian Mourning Tree by Night Spirit Studios, and this one is the one I started for Stitch for Sage. And when I first started it, I had a very minimal start, as you'll see. Not a whole lot. And one of the other ladies in my fandom stitching group, Mora, I think it was you, she finished hers. And sorry, my cat has decided that he's gonna terrorize a basket. Anyway, so she finished hers, which then inspired me to pick mine back up and keep going. So I did this one actually while I was at work. This was my lunch stitch when I was at work. So got that tree going in. Again, I had to frog a bit of this because I miscounted. Put that right back in, and it's looking good. I am definitely more of a frogger than a fudger. I wish I was a fudger. It would make my life a lot easier, but I'm not. So, and then the last whip that I worked on is There Be Jin, and I want to say that this one, I'm trying to decide if it was in the Whimsical Cross Stitch book or the BookRiot, but I'm pretty sure it was in Whimsical Cross Stitch by Cari, Buziak. And this is where I was the last time you saw it, and I had to get another prompt in for something, so it was another, like, I think it was only 100 stitches maybe that I had to put into this, so not much, but made a little bit more progress. And this is the one I'm going to frame up and put in our what we call our tavern in the back room. So yeah, that'll be a finish soon. Probably not the next time because I don't want to put too much on my plate, but I mean, it's small, there's not really much left, so we'll see one of these days. So those are my whips, and then I did have one new start, and that is Mother Nature Winter. And who designed this one? Perry Hadi Perry Hottie of Stitchora. I feel bad that I didn't actually look up Stitchora on Instagram. I feel like now I should. That should have been the first thing I did. Huh, interesting. Anyway, so I went ahead and started her, and I know you're supposed to do her over 2, but I didn't want to. So I didn't. And so I'm doing 28 count over 1, and look at that deer. He's so stinking cool. So much fun. Oh my gosh. But it means that she's just gonna be, let's see, how far down does that deer go? Yeah. So if there's the deer, like she's not gonna be super big, which will be good because then I can fit all the other ones on this exact same piece of fabric and frame them all together, which is what I was hoping to do. Of course, now I've unraveled it all and have to fold it back to get into stitching width. There we go. So yeah, I like my little deer, and soon she's gonna start to appear. So finally got that one started. Okay, and then the only piece of haul, well, no, I have 2. I was gonna say the only piece of haul I have, but I actually have 2. The first one is I ordered this Crossstitch Christmas, this year's Crossstitch Christmas book, Season of Memories, and these are so stinking cute. There's so many different patterns in here. Look at this ornament tree there, and this Santa stocking on the back. Look at that. He's so cool. Let's see, I did have one I really liked. It was, of course, gnomes. Oh, I think I'm gonna do all these angels and put those on our tree. But there's like different sections. Ooh, I know somebody who would like that bird. Thinking Lindy Stitches might like that bird. Or I Stitch Birds might. There was a gnome in here, and I saw it and was like, oh my gosh, so stinking cute. And I don't want to keep you here while I flip through, so I won't. But here's another fun one, that stocking right there. So I got that, and it of course came with a little freebie, sweet treats. This is cute. I'm gonna make this and put this on the front of a cooking book as a gift for Christmas to somebody. I don't know who yet, someone. But then my other haul was actually Stitchy Kindness. And this is from Nat Sews on Instagram. And so I have been absolutely obsessed with her color choice on the Modern Folk Embroidery stitch along from, I want to say 2020, maybe, no, it was 2022. She did this blue and gold and white, just perfect color combo on here. And of course, every time she posted, I'm like, oh my gosh, I just want to stare at this all day. It's gorgeous. And so she sent me a card and the remaining floss that she didn't use. I was like, are you kidding me? I about cried. I almost cried when I opened it. Look at that. Oh my gosh. People are so awesome. Just the world is full of awesome people. Thank you so very much. Oh, I'm probably going to do the exact same pattern. Yeah, I'll mix it up and do my own little what goes blue, what goes gold, and blah, blah, blah. But it was really cool to receive that. So, and then my TBS list item pattern thing today is Forest Flower by InkCircles. And this one is just so pretty. I've never done an InkCircles before, but I've seen a lot of like the round robins and such that like Michelle Bendy and them do. And it's got that like mandala style, but the greens and reds and just the color combo in there is just very pretty and almost Christmassy to me. And so that's on my list to stitch and frame up and put right next to our door going outside. Let's see. And then I'll do recommendations, and then we'll go into books, language. I'll pick a wall photo, and then that'll be it. So my recommendations, first off, I want to recommend Kimberly from That One Stitcher 171. And she has been gone for about 5 months. She's dealing with some loss in the family, so keep her in your prayers. One day I'm sure she'll be back, but at the moment she just kind of needs that break. But rewatch some of her previous videos. She's got a ton of really great stitching in there, wonderful personality, just great to have listen to, you know, in the background while you're stitching and such. Again, I'll recommend Lemonade Stitching. Loving all of her patterns. I want to stitch a lot of the same things that she does. Be a Blessing Stitcher is still one of my go-tos if I need just like a calming stitch in the background so I can get things done and still have like some Flosstube going. Cam the Stitcher is like my OG. She's like the number one, or in the top 5, I guess. I don't have really order, that I listen to. Jessie Marie does stuff, same thing. She's not only my OG, she's the OG. So if you haven't checked her out, run over. Samantha Huga Stitcher, I mean, she is one of my faves for like Mirabilia and Alforce Embroidery. She's got one that she did for Alice in Wonderland that really gorgeous, and then another one I think for Wizard of Oz that she was working on that she put in like her own little quirks and stuff. And now I've got to do that one as well. She had a holiday with a friend of hers, and they did a Flosstube there where they were both showing their projects, and it's like, man, I would love to just rent out a cabin with a bunch of friends and just stitch the entire weekend. How great would that be? And then my other recommendation is Stitch by Liz. She recently moved houses, and I personally love watching her stitches and all of her updates and stuff, but I get a real kick out of her husband Ross putting up his little blurbs of comments and fun jokes and stuff all over the place. So keep it going. Okay, that is what I have for stitching. So if that's what you're here for, thanks for coming, and I will see you next time. And if you want to hang out for my last 3 little segments, then please do. So for language, I decided the weather's starting to turn to fall, autumn, and so why not do autumn? So in Spanish, autumn is otoño. In French, autumn is automne. They're spelled different. So automne is A-U-T-O-M-N-E. Automne. Automne, I guess. I gotta get the enunciation correct. Automne. That's it. And then otoño is O-T-O-N with the tilde, O. And then in sign language, autumn, you take this hand here, you do 4 fingers with this, and you make circles. I think it's actually supposed to go towards you. Like 1 or 2. So there's autumn. Okay. So that's my language. And then as far as books, I did not get a chance with all the sickness and travel and all of that jazz to put together my little, like, this is what I read for September. So I've just picked 2 that I'm going to recommend. So the first is Personal Librarian. And this is about Belle de Costa Green, who was the personal librarian of J.P. Morgan. And it was only recently found out, and I feel like recently is like maybe a decade or 2, that she was Black, passing as white. And this is a historical fiction that is very closely based on her story, and there were like some letters that weren't destroyed that they were able to find and all of that. And so they were able to grasp kind of an understanding of her struggle, but just having it written from her perspective, and I think it was 2 women that wrote it together, was very well done. I really enjoyed that book. And I believe I actually read that one in hand. So both of these books I actually like read in hard copy instead of listening to, because most of the time I listen to it, and I couldn't put them down. Like most of the time I try to read a book in hand, but all I want to do is stitch, so I put it down and go stitch and get the audiobook. These 2 I didn't, because I couldn't put them down. They were so good. So that's Personal Librarian. And then the other one is Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekulak? I don't know. And it's funny, both of these 2 books were for the book club that I host. And this one, we'd already picked it for our October reads. We haven't discussed this one yet. We'd already picked it, and then I listened to an author talk by, why can't I think of her name? She's a very big author. Cassandra, oh my gosh. She wrote City of Bones. Oh my gosh. Wow. I'm having a major blank, and I'm gonna like facepalm after this, y'all. But she actually recommended this book in the middle of it. And so I was really glad she did, and I was really glad we'd already picked it, because this book was so stinking good. So this is about a young woman, a recovering drug addict that is hired on as a nanny for a family, for their little boy, and she's gonna nanny for them over the summer, and then hopefully if things go well, then she will continue into the year. And as she starts nannying, watching this boy, he draws pictures, and things start to show up in the pictures, and it reveals a little bit about the history of things that happened at the house, and she essentially has to solve this mystery of the ghosts and the little boy's invisible friend and all of that. And none of that is a spoiler, because it all happens within like the first couple pages. And one of the really cool things is that the pictures are actually in the book. So like this is one of the pictures that he drew of a goat, you know? So these pictures, him climbing the tree, the birds, blah, blah, these are actually in the book. So, and I won't show you any further because there are spoilers in the pictures. So I thought that was really cool. So I really recommend this one. Actually, I don't give a lot of books 5 stars, and this one got a 5-star for me. So yeah, my recommendation. Okay, and now I will input one of Brian's photos from the wall. Okay, so I decided to show you one of the higher up ones. So let's see if we can get this one in the frame. There is a lime sinking in a glass of ice. So much whimsy. Okay, so that's it for today, y'all. Hopefully I'm on the mend and I won't do another 4-week hiatus, and hopefully I can get caught up with all the Flosstube stuff going forward. And I will, fingers crossed, see you in 2 weeks. Okay, well, have a wonderful weekend. Have a great start to your autumn, and I hope you do tons of fun stitchy things. Later, y'all.